Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Tief, and tonight we are looking at a generous sample, 200 milliliters that I bought at the airport about a week ago. It is the Tomatin 12-year-old, bottled at 43% ABV. It is a Highland single malt Scotch. Matured in ex-bourbon cask as well as finished in some ex-oloroso sherry casks. So at 12 years, 43%. I'm going to give it a quick nose, a quick taste. I give it a quick score and give my opinion on the whiskey. So without wasting time, on the nose, cheers. Now, there is some sweetness to the whiskey. There's a little bit of a roughness on it, quite similar to open a bottle of hand sanitizer, and you get that a little bit of a harsh alcohol note that's coming out. So I get that strong alcohol note coming out. It not totally unpleasant, but it's definitely there, and it might be 12 years old, but for me on the nose it's more like maybe a 7-8-year-old whiskey. So there is if you give it a little bit of time, a little bit of oxygen, there's a little bit of an apple note coming out, a little bit of maybe moving into an apple pie or stewed apples with a hint of cinnamon. I do get the sherry notes, but it's definitely not a sherry bomb. But don't put your nose into deep. It definitely if you put your nose into deep, the alcohol completely takes over. So just give it a little bit of a movement and just wave it in front of your nose. So as you get a little fruitiness coming out, maybe a hint of a pear note, but the alcohol is quite strong. Now I get a little bit, if I agitate it a little bit too much, I get a little bit of a nail polish remover as well. So there's an oakiness in the back. I also get a little bit more of a fresh apple note coming out. In the beginning, when you just open up, it's more stewed fruit. Now I get a little bit of a fresh fruit note coming out. So at 43%, I think it will be a good idea to add a little bit of water just to open up some of the flavors, and of course just to tone down the alcohol note. So on the taste without water, cheers. It is a unique taste. I think that's how I would describe it. There's a sour note coming out. The alcohol seems quite a little bit stronger than the actual 43% ABV. There's a sharp note to it. There's a little bit of a sour note to it. A harshness in the alcohol. It is not pleasant. I'm a little bit surprised. I was quite looking forward to reviewing this bottle. I've tasted the 15-year-old, and I kind of like the 15-year-old. But this one, it really does not taste like a 12-year-old. And I think that's also something to do with a mass production. So when they say it's 12 years old, they mean it's 12 years old, or maybe 12 years and 1 day old. It is quite harsh. I get a lot of bitter notes coming through. some people will say the dark chocolates. I don't think that's a dark chocolate. I think this is just a bitter coffee note coming out. There is no hint of sweetness in it. The dryness, harshness stays in your mouth. Not very pleasant. So let me just try again. Oak, quite a lot of oak. Supposed to be ex-bourbon cask, but I don't get a lot of or any vanilla notes coming through, not even on the nose. Definitely not on the palate. Maybe burnt caramel coming through, but definitely no vanilla on the taste as well. Maybe a espresso note, Turkish coffee. That's the type of thing that I would use, but definitely nothing remotely towards dark chocolate. Now I get a little bit of a hint of a sweetness. Not unpleasant, but that little funky note stays and lingers in the mouth. That is not quite so pleasant. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit of water to this one. I've got some nice distilled water. So I'm going to not add much, maybe 3 to 3 teaspoons of water. Not really measured it, but by the eye. And let's see what it happens if you do add a little bit of water to it. So with a little bit of water on the nose, it didn't do much for the nose. There's a hint of a funky note coming out that I don't enjoy. And I can't really identify what it reminds me of, but it's not pleasant. It's a harshness, a sharpness, not really pleasant. Maybe a little bit of a dusty note coming out as well, but yeah, it's not made any difference for the better when I added some water. So on a taste with water, cheers. A little bit nicer on the taste. I might have added a little bit too much water, but the bitterness is disappearing. A little bit more sweetness, but also like a sweet sour note coming through. I do get a little bit of a brown sugar note coming through, a little bit of a toffee note coming out as well. And I think I can also get a hint of a cinnamon or vanilla note coming out as well, and a little bit of a apple note or the pear note that's coming out, but it's not a sweet apple, but it's also not a tart apple. So, but it's a little bit on the sour side. So in between sweet and sour type of fruit that's coming out, and that's that. Quite a little bit of a disappointment. Now I get a little bit more brown sugar on the nose. And again, I get that a funny smell to it that I cannot identify. So that's now 2 for 2. My previous review was the Dewar's white label. Disgusting. This one also I'm not a fan, and I was really looking forward, if I look at all the notes and suggestions that they put on the bottle, and my might out very difficult to read. I don't even have my glasses on, so I'm not even going to try, but they give us some very difficult read, the fruity notes that's coming out, which I do get a little bit, but I'm very disappointed in this one. It feels like it's something that they rushed, that they said 12 years, you've done the 12 years in a bottle, get it to the shop, sell as many as possible. So really a little bit disappointed in this one. Maybe I should have done a little bit more research on this one. Maybe there's more time in the glass would have made a big difference. And during the next couple of days, I will definitely spend a little bit more time on the bottle. Maybe I will do an update in the next couple of days. Maybe there's some big improvements in the whiskey itself. And of course, if that happens, I will make an update, and then I will humbly apologize to Tomatin, and I will tell them that after a little bit of time it became fantastic. But as it is now, that's not something that I will buy again. The 12-year-old for me is definitely not a nice one. I did enjoy the 15-year-old much more than this one. Would I buy it again? No. Would I recommend it? Definitely not. There's so much better whiskies out there, even better no-age statement whiskies. And the promises on the nose that is not fulfilled in the taste, the youthfulness, the harshness of the alcohol, I did not appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. I am on 99 subscribers, and I'm quite excited to reach the 100 soon. So if you do like my videos, subscribe, make a comment. Maybe you love the Tomatin 12. Give me your thoughts on it. So thank you very much, and I see you next time. Cheers.